Hi, my name is Sam Johnson and I'm a voice teacher. Today I will be reacting to and analyzing Garth Brooks performing Amazing Grace at Joe Biden's presidential inauguration.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
It's so tender so far. It's really a beautiful sound, and I love how unaffected it is. I love how just straightforward it is. I also love that he's using so many of these consonants to he's singing through the consonants, but he's keeping them just as gentle as the rest of his voice. It's a really beautiful sound.
I was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
There was a little bit more pitchiness when he was singing in that really gentle place. It's really hard to sing perfectly on pitch and be that quiet all the way through, which is why so much of my job as a voice teacher is to try to get people to find the optimum balance of vocal fold resistance. If you're resisting it too much, it becomes a little strained. It becomes too pressured, too pressed. If you're not resisting quite enough at the vocal folds, then it starts becoming a little bit too breathy and it becomes harder to tune, harder to hold on. That said, he was close enough. If he was performing this on a recording, he'd probably get a few takes just to make sure that it's exactly what they want and whatever. But in the moment, it's fine. And he trusts it enough that he can tell his story. And the most important thing is he's telling his story. There's not a moment in this so far that I'm watching him saying he's thinking about how to sing this. And that's why it works. That's why all of the best performances work, is because they're not thinking about how to do the performance. They're thinking about trying to communicate. He's feeling something, right? He's got to be feeling something, and he's showing that to everyone. And I think it's really great that he trusts his instrument to just do that. He's a professional, right? He's really good.
When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun.
He's also not going very far away from that spoken coordination, how he would just speak the words of the sun, right? He's not going of the sun and totally morphing it into something else. He's keeping it so close to speech, which works really well for country music. It works really well for all music, though. If you get used to that idea of treating your singing like your speech, you're going to see a lot of progress. They're the same instrument, so if you're not messing anything up in your speech, try to carry over that same stuff when you go over to your singing. We can hear quite a bit of reverb, which smooths out the sound of what he's doing. I'm not sure if that is a natural reverb of just the big space and hearing the speakers whatever, or if it is a computer added simulated reverb. It doesn't matter, but there is going to be a lot of natural reverb when you're in a big place with all of these big PAs. That stuff I think does smooth out his sound, but even without that extra reverb, it's just such a tender little sound, and it's so honest. He's such an honest performer.
We've no less days to sing God's praise.
So with that, he vocalized on the NG before he opened to God. God. Sometimes when cleaning up someone's voice, we look for places like that and try to cut them off just because it makes it sound a little bit less like speech. However, there's a point where if you use things like that, it will become part of your style. And like I said earlier, I like some of the stuff he's doing with these consonants, of singing through consonants, and that's another example of it, where it might not be exactly like what we would sound like in speech, but it sounds pretty cool. It sounds like him.
Then when we first begun. If I can ask you to sing this last verse with me, not just the people here, but the people at home, at work, as one, united. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Beautiful. Yeah, he's keeping everything in a very singing range so that most people will be able to sing along with it. I love that he's bringing it of like let's all be together. It's nice. It's special. And if he was singing this in a way that's like, look, I'm a singer, I can do this, I'm showing off, then people wouldn't be able to do that. And I mentioned similar things in the video about Lady Gaga singing the national anthem, where if you keep it simple like this, there's a point for that, because it lets people join in. And these songs, these national songs, like there's comfort in being able to join in and sing with everyone else and not feel like you can't do it. I think that there's like this kind of gatekeeping that happens where people feel like they can't sing because like they aren't as skilled as someone else. But it's like singing is something that is essential to the human condition. It's like breathing. You just do it. And people who have had that shut off by others saying you can't do it or whatever, I think that moments like this, where someone is creating a very open, welcoming place, can start getting people comfortable with that, because it's something that's just innate in being alive, I think. So I love that he invited people to do that, and that he set it up so that people will be able to reasonably do it, rather than be like at home, wow, I can't sing along with Whitney Houston singing this national anthem. Why can't I do that? I guess I'll never sing again. It's a nice sentiment.
I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
That was really special. Like, it was just so nice. He's got a lovely voice. He wasn't trying to show off. Whenever you see an artist doing something like that and telling a beautiful story, the phrase, he could sing the phone book, comes to mind. I think that these words mean a lot to him. I think there's a lot to go off of with that. But it's not trying to elevate yourself as the performer above the material. And I think that it's a real sign of confidence to not try to out-sing the material, especially for these songs that most people know quite well, where they feel like they have to make it their own or something. But it's like, I read this analogy the other day of why we do things, like why do people write songs that all use the same chord progressions? Because in music, there's certain chord progressions that just sound good, and music's been going on for long enough that those have all been used, right? So why do we keep using them? And someone said, well, I had a steak last week and it was really good, but I had a steak today also, and they were different steaks, but it's also really good. And I think that as a performer, it's kind of important to remember that idea, that just because someone's done it before, it's like, it's not you. It's not you in that moment. There's a lot special to just doing something simply and letting it be what it is and not trying to morph it into something else. And I think that, like, really good singers, it's important for them, us, whatever, to focus on what matters about the singing rather than on trying to show off. And this is such a good example of that. Like, this is excellent. I can take this song for any of my like new singing students who don't have a lot of range, but that want to sing something in a very authentic, meaningful way. And then they can start feeling what it's like to be involved in that. Because again, the point of singing is not to show off. It's just not. It's to communicate. The people who search to try to show off, they don't see the long-lasting success compared to people who want to communicate. Thanks, Garth. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment below, share this video with your grandma, and text her that you love her. Thanks.